Welcome to the Beverly Hills 90210 show, and I'm so excited to be joined by Josie Davis. First of all, I should tell you, I've been a fan of yours for a really long time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this goes back to Charles in Charge.
Oh, wow. That is back.
Yeah, I wasn't into the Nicole Eggert character. I was into the Josie Davis character.
So you like nerds?
Definitely.
Okay.
And it's awesome to have you here. I've interviewed a lot of people about 90210, and you're someone that I've always wanted to talk to because you have a couple of very interesting things about you in the 90210 universe. One, you've played two parts.
Oh, on 90210. I'm trying to find you right now. Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. I went to move this and I lost you.
It happens.
There you are. So are you talking about, when I played a lesbian guest star?
Yes. So that's a unique experience. You're one of only a handful of people that has happened to. And that's actually been able to come back. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they don't want to bring the person back because of the fact that they were already another previous character.
Different character. Yeah.
Yeah. And also you came into the show at a time when the show was coming to an end, and you've started shows before. So I'm curious to get your perspective on some of that as well. But so let's go all the way back. Let's go back to 90210 is on television. Are you aware of it? And did you try to audition for it a bunch? Because I've talked to the casting director as well, so I know people used to come in a whole bunch of times and read for this, read for that. How did 90210 get into your mind and in your universe?
Yeah, I mean, I auditioned for it. Like, it was, it wasn't just an audition. It's just sort of weird. Sorry, I'm still trying to fix this.
It's so cute. I have to tell you, it's one of the cutest things I've seen.
Is it me or does it look like I'm a linebacker with the way the show? Okay, I can't tell if I'm blending into the couch.
No, I think you look incredible. And I think the shot looks good. Yeah.
I was trying to make the background look good. Okay, anyway, enough of that. So, so you interviewed Fern Champion, I assume.
I interviewed Diane Young, who was the previous casting director, and she left, I think, at season 8. So it probably was who you just said. Yeah.
That's who I read for. I think there was a guy also, and then I remember the auditions so well. It's so weird.
So this is for Madeline.
You're talking about the lesbian character?
Is that the first time that you auditioned for 90210, or did you audition?
I think so.
Okay, so that's put me in the universe. That's where we are, Madeline. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I don't remember the audition.
You just said you remember it so well.
No, the series regular one.
Okay, all right, okay. So you don't remember Madeline auditioning for that?
No. I remember doing it, but I don't remember audition. I mean, do you know how many auditions I've gone on since I was a kid?
Right.
No, my God.
You've been working since you were like 3, right?
Yeah. Well, I started at 3, but I actually started working at 4. But commercials and stuff. But auditioned so much it's hard to remember.
But meeting Aaron Spelling, did you meet Aaron Spelling the first time, or?
No, I met him when I tested for. Wait. I haven't thought about this in a long time. I tested for, when you're a series regular audition, you have to not only audition for casting.
It's a process.
I actually pre-read for it, which means I didn't go straight to producers. Usually at that time, I've had a really weird career. There was a time when I was, going straight, most of my career, you go straight to, producers. You don't read for casting, but for some reason, they had me do that. They had me go pre-read, and then after I passed that level, then I got to go and go to producers. And Aaron was not there. I do remember they wanted me to be really tiny, and they had it was kind of like being in a lineup where they have the height behind you written like on the wall. And I had to, I remember looking at it. I'm, like a certain height.
Oh, I was going to ask you, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'7", and I
Okay.
had to be like 5'7", and I had to be 5'1"
Oh,
or something.
that's going to be hard.
And it was hard on my hips. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I wore flat like sandals, and I stood in a certain way, or I was leaning. Oh, look at Val. That's my and so he's so funny. Look at him.
I love that he's doing things to keep the audience
He's so
entertained.
funny.
Yeah, in the background. Yeah.
So I ended up having to like lean on my side. You know how you lean, and to try and like be smaller. And I remember the director at the time saying, "How tall are you?" And I said, I think I said 5'5". Maybe I was supposed to be 5'5", or under 5'5", or
Sure.
5'3", or something ridiculous. I think I said 5'5", and he looked at me and went, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yep, looks like I am." You know.
So, but what was this? Why did you have to be 5'5"?
I think his Tori was. Oh, there he is again. Was Tori maybe? Alexa, how tall is Tori Spelling? Tori Spelling is 5'6" tall. What did she say?
5'6".
That's not
5'6".
right. No. That's not right. Okay, whatever. That's not it.
That's
So
probably because they
she's not
wanted.
near
There was
my.
probably something with Tori that they wanted
Yeah,
you.
so she was like Nicole Eggert was down here when we were the same height when we started, but then she didn't grow anymore, and then I grew, which was so weird. I grew so fast. But I was like 5'5" when the show ended. And my friend called me the other day and said, "I just saw Charles in Charge. Why did you look like you were massive? You're not that tall, like crazy like
You
that."
did look.
But
You
I
did
was,
look taller on Charles in Charge for
yeah,
sure.
but I was 5'5" at the end of the show. So I literally was like 4'11", 5 feet around
Hmm.
there, and then grew to 5'5".
Right.
So,
Hmm.
you
And you
know,
were a kid on television, growing up on television, and so
yeah,
yeah.
going through puberty. So I don't know. So at that time yeah. So anyway, so she must have been 5'3" or something. And I had to be like maybe only a little taller, like that kind of thing.
I got you, because and did they know that you were on the show previously? Did that come up? Did
Um,
anybody say to you like
I don't know. I don't remember that.
that wasn't a conversation with your agent or anything? Because I mean, you have a totally different look than
I
from your time as the other
Yeah.
character.
Well, I guess
It-
that's a good thing. Then I was able to do it. Um, no, I know the casting really liked my sporty look with the short hair.
was that something new for you? Had you done that look
Yeah, it
before?
was really unique. Yeah.
Hmm.
My hairdresser decided to do it one day. He just literally, I went from platinum blonde, straight hair from here all the way to that. I mean, when he first did it, I thought, ooh, I think this might be a half an inch too short. But, you know,
I think it looks great.
thank you.
I think
Well,
it's probably one of the reasons. I mean, outside of your acting, I feel like it's probably one of the reasons why you were cast, because it was a uniquely different look than everybody
yeah,
else had on the show.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Um,
and then, there were like, I think 2 other girls or 3 of us that tested for it. And then, yeah, it was going to continue. And, but then the show had to end. They were all talking about whether they wanted to continue the series or not. And I remember waiting to hear what they all sort of voted. Do we want to continue, or is this the end?
so
That's why it was such an abrupt end of my
yes,
character, because suddenly they went, "Oh my God, we're going to end the show. We only have 2 episodes left. So
we
we'll
have to
just
wrap this.
end
Yeah.
the relationship with her." And then suddenly they're going to get married.
Well, I mean, that's exactly how it feels when you watch it too. It's like just
Oh,
out of the blue, where you're like, I like where this is going with David and Camille, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, the show is over. So how is
yeah.
it going to? At some point, we know that it's going to have to be written out that they're not going to be able to be together.
That was
So
weird.
when you did sign on to be a series regular, you had no knowledge that the show was coming to an end. You thought, well, maybe this would be a couple of years of the show.
I don't think. I don't recall all this. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? It was a while, so long ago. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
But you knew that you were getting a series part, which was
Mhm.
on 90210, one of the biggest shows. Were you familiar with 90210? Had you met any of those people before?
Oh, Brian, I knew. Brian Green.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, we knew each other as teenagers.
Oh,
Uh,
sure. Hmm.
I had met, I did meet Jenny Garth one time at an audition for some event, something that we Circus of the Stars. That's what it was.
Mm.
Um, I met her there, and I'm trying to think if I met anyone else. No, I didn't meet anybody else before, but then I kind of was like friendly with, I mean, they were just like, the guys were so nice. Luke Perry was super nice, and Ian Ziering, and why I always forget what's the lead guy. What's the other guy's name? Oh my
Well,
God.
Jason, but you met Jason the first time. Yeah.
They're so nice. They were so nice. Tori and I got along, and in fact we went out. We have a really funny story. We went out one night to the Hilton, you know, out, and
She's fun to party with, I hear.
yeah, I was out late. So it was a crazy night, and I mean, I'm the most clean cut person ever, which is why it was so funny.
Right.
And you know who was behind me as I guess I can't really say what I was doing, but I was like, gosh, I don't really know what I'm feeling. Like, I know what's going on. It was so stupid. My friend goes, holy shit, that's Patrick Swayze.
Oh my God.
Patrick Swayze's here. I mean, my friend started talking to him, and he was super nice. And I just remember that very quickly. Yeah, it was I forgot what that place was called, where everyone would drink a lot there.
Well, that's
at the Hilton. It was
maybe
I almost want to say the tiki bar, but that's not it. I forgot.
Oh, okay, something like that. I know what you're talking about.
They had like these big tiki, like these.
I know what you're talking about.
Massive drinks, and yeah. So
I feel like it might be called that. I feel like
crazy
you're not.
Night for me back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we got together. I guess later that night. Yeah. Then she used to live at the Wilshire on the corridor, which was really cool. That was the first time I'd been there. Mm-hmm. Elevator opens up into your unit.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember she had a lot of lipsticks, like a drawer that was full, and they were like falling out. And I thought, how could you wear all these? I mean, what are you doing with all these lipsticks? You can't use them all. They're falling,
So did this night out happen when you were on the show? This was,
yeah,
you were a cast and you guys became friends. That's interesting. Did you guys?
She's always been really nice to me, always. And
I think she's a super nice person.
At a restaurant one time, we said hi. She's just super down to earth. She's
a real person.
Yeah.
When you were friendly with Brian back in the day, I mean, I've hung out with him a bunch, and he's told me that you get there was a group of kids that kid actors that used to all hang out. They had soda parties and stuff like that. Were you amongst that group of people that? Yeah, that's how you knew him.
Yeah, and David Faustino and Leo and Toby and Sarah. I mean, just this whole group of oh my God, so many. And then I here and there I'll run into someone else. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. And this is what you are now. You look how I'm like, this is what you look like now. Holy shit, I wouldn't have recognized you at first. So it's really funny through the years to sort of run into Toby and Leo and Sarah. And I'm trying to think and then this guy Henry, and run into him, and now we kind of talk sometimes. And they're all really nice. It's funny. It's really funny.
It's a group of you that were all
so weird.
It's so cool though. That's like a group of you that were before you were stars, but were stars. Do you know what I mean? Like they were kid stars.
Well, Toby and Leo were not working, from what I recall, till later in life. They kind of went to all the parties and went to have the publicist, and Danny Nucci was working a lot. He was kind of older than we were. He was working a lot. In fact, he was giving people acting lessons. I know Leo took his class. I don't know what else, but I know that my ex-boyfriend used to be best friends with Danny. I don't know if you know who he is, but he
Who's
was
your ex-boyfriend?
Danny was it oh no, not my ex-boyfriend.
No,
My ex
I
was
know who
a
Danny Nucci is. I'm friends with Paula Marshall, who is married to Danny Nucci
oh
now.
yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know what's funny about that?
What's that?
I actually had a recurring role on a show that she ended up having to replace me on because I was so innocent and clean cut that
Is it the David Duchovny show?
no. This was, and I ran into, I messaged the guy because he's friends with a friend of mine. On my podcast, I interviewed, so I have a podcast on YouTube
Very
called
cool.
Imperfect. And I interviewed Spencer Garrett, who worked with Leo and Brad Pitt on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And, you know, he's worked so much. And he's friends with this actor who I'm suddenly forgetting. And that's how I ended up saying, oh my God, I have to say hi to him. How weird. God, I'm not helping you out by forgetting.
That's okay.
But it was his own show back in the, what year was that? To the 2000s, right? Or was it? No. It was like the late 90s or something. And I had never had I literally had never had a kiss. I had like one boyfriend who guest starred on Charles in Charge. That's how we originally met. And he was best friends with Danny Nucci. It's such a weird thing how we all knew each other.
It's so weird. It's such a small universe.
Yeah, it is. It
feels much bigger when you watch it on television.
You go to, you know each other at every party. Ricky Schroeder was like the older kid, so you know, I kind of saw him here and there, but didn't really see much of him. We were all kind of the younger kids. But I ended up having my first kiss with Mike, and so I dated him for 4.5 years. And so when I went on the blah 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 Steven Weber show,
there you go.
Then Steven Weber doesn't remember this either, but I said he wanted me to, like, I was supposed to sit on his lap, and I was dating him, and I was so young, but you know how guys do that, right? Like, we love a young girl. Well, I was so young, and I ended up like going, oh, well, I can't like French kiss you or something. I have a boyfriend. And he and the director were like, oh my gosh, this is acting. This is what you have to do for your career, you know,
this
whatever.
Is a part. This is right.
And I said, oh no, I can't do that. So
oh my God,
I know I was just too young. I was super young, like just ridiculous.
Yes.
For my age, especially even younger. That's just that's how I am. Like I was still like, you know, I'll always be that way.
That's awesome, though. I think that's great. But I mean, it's also
well, except that then I had to get replaced. But
well, exactly. So
Paula,
I'm sure you're okay with on-screen kisses at this point.
Yeah, of course. And
clearly,
and of course you send 90210 to me, and I'm
I'm like kissing a lot. Yeah.
Brian and I didn't remember that we even kissed. It's hilarious. I mean, a little bit, but I didn't remember all these seductive scenes we had. That's really funny.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of
the coat moment. Like that was such a big deal that I wear the right lingerie underneath. I mean, that hair is hard to pull off. I have to tell you, that's tough.
I mean, but you do pull it off. Like, I mean, you rock the short hair.
Really tough. That's not easy to do. I'll probably never do it again.
But you came in, like, the character comes in with so much confidence, and she's so sure of herself. Do you remember developing Camille at all? Do you remember trying to find her or anything like that?
No, I don't try and find anyone. Like, I'm not lost or anything trying to, it's like finding myself. No, I just kind of know, I know where I'm going, like what kind of character it is. And I'm that.
I got you. Yeah. I love that. And you become this, I don't know, she's like working at Donna's store and she's like, you know.
Oh, I acted. I know. I watched your clips and I was like, wow. Yeah, I really acted like a seductress and a really confident person. And I don't think I was actually like that, but that was kind of neat. You know, I was not like that. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I was socially inept. I was actually really nervous socially. And I did Aaron Smelling's show after that, Titans, for NBC. And I was a complete social, just, Yes, I was socially inept is the word I'm going to use.
Okay, wait. So when you're doing 90210, you're saying you're socially inept, but your
Yeah.
character is like socially aware and a
Yeah,
part
and
of the Yeah.
because my teacher, when I was studying acting, I mean, he made sure to make me a well-rounded actor, so I could do that. But no one helped me in my real life, personal life, so I had to go get like help for that.
Yeah, right.
It'll come out
Therapy
in
and
my
shit.
book.
Yeah.
My book is going to come out at some point.
Yeah. And you'll explain what you went through and how that all happened. But that's fascinating to me because um the character is really confident and she is such a seductress and she is like really into David and she doesn't care that Donna was at first that Donna was his ex and all that stuff. She's just like
Well,
she's in it.
I mean, I remember when I was watching the clips you sent, I mean, I definitely was like a cool chick. I was really nice and thoughtful and like respectful that they used to. So I do remember that that's what I say in it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, you're good with her, but most of the stuff that you did was with Brian.
Uh-huh. A
Um,
lot of in the store with her though. I remember that.
but I mean, so much of that kissing and whatnot. So we talked about Steven Weber and not sitting on his lap. Totally different. Kissing a lot. What was that like with Brian? I mean, was the fact that you guys knew each other at soda parties helpful, or
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was yeah, because we knew each other. It was some yeah. It was super easy. Yeah.
yeah? Let's look at one
I
of
mean,
these.
it's not like he's not attractive either.
Well, that's
That helps
I
too.
understand that.
Thank God.
I totally get that. He's still a great looking dude.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Let's see what I have. This is you guys at candlelight.
This is really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Dinner was amazing.
Yeah, now as long as we don't burn the house down, I guess it'll be a perfect evening, right?
Can I make a confession?
Okay.
Burn yourself? My expectations for tonight were incredibly low.
Or?
Mm-hmm. Donna told me you're a terrible cook.
And that's what your expectations were low about, my cooking?
Yeah, should they be low about something else?
No, not unless Donna said there's something else I couldn't do.
No. I assume you're great at everything.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Which is why my expectations for the rest of the night are incredibly high.
Are they?
This is hot stuff. Look at this stuff. I mean, this is incredible.
That's really funny.
Do you remember doing any of that?
Mm-hmm.
How
No.
do you? I mean, I know he's a good-looking guy and all that stuff. You would like we talked about the Steven Weber thing, and this is so much more intimate.
Well, I wasn't 19 anymore there. So I think I was maybe honestly, Steven Weber's so much older. I don't know what he is, but I was like maybe 19 or 20. But you know,
Yeah.
but I guess I was a super late bloomer. Everything was late for me in life, just everything. I mean, your first kiss at 19 is pretty late, wouldn't you say?
I think so. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I was really like brought up in a conservative way.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what about working with Tori? Super sweet, easy to work with. You had a lot of stuff with her.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what's also awesome about this season for 90210 fans is Luke Perry was back. So he was gone for a long time and then had
Oh, I didn't know.
returned and he was here and you did get to do some stuff with him. So there's a couple questions here. What was Luke like to work with as an actor? What was that like?
I don't remember. Literally, I don't remember working with him until you sent a clip. I thought we just worked together like in a group scene. I remember one time Ian and Jason and Luke and all of us kind of talking and off. I don't even know what we were doing, but we were just kind of chatting, whatever. We all got along. We laughed, whatever. It was very cool, very down to earth guys. So sweet, all of them. And then I remember Luke used to say, he kept saying, your eyes, oh my God, you look like a husky dog. And he just kept saying, those eyes are like a husky dog. Yeah. And then we saw each other one time at a party and he kind of wanted to date, you know, and I was like, I don't know if I want to date an actor. And I was like, not sure, you know, because, you know, he'd want to talk about acting and I don't like talking about acting, to be honest. And he was the nicest guy, you know, and I remember going to the bathroom and my friend goes, oh my God, he's so hot. What are you going to do with him? And because he was wanting to dance with me outside and stuff. Right. He was being really cute and romantic. And I said, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Right. You know, why do you need an answer? Like, I don't know. And she did this little trick where she like grabbed me and goes, Josie, meet so-and-so. I told him all about you. You know, and she put me together and put his hand on my hand or whatever. I'm like, oh, hi. And then she ran in for the kill. So they ended up like sleeping together for a long time.
Amazing. Yeah. You helped set that up. You were like an accidental wing person.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So weird. But I was like, okay, that's fun. Whatever. Okay. But he was really nice.
Well, I want to ask you, I mean, obviously he passed away, I guess, a few years ago. So devastating.
Well, it's been a while. It's been a while. I mean, it's so shocking.
What was that like for you I mean, this is someone that you know and you've worked with and you have this beautiful little story with.
Well, yeah, that was so shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's just so sad. But it's, you know, I didn't have a relationship with him, you know, I don't remember, like I said, even doing scenes, just except that one day maybe, and just what he kept saying, you know, and then at the party that one time. But so he was more of an acquaintance, you know, he was just really nice. Oh, that's the worst when really nice people are taken, you know, like what the hell?
Young. Yeah.
So weird. Yeah. So bizarre and sad.
Now on this topic,
that same girl also lost. So she lost him. She used to date Matthew Perry. So she lost him too.
The girl with Luke did they date a while together or was it?
No, they just slept together.
Oh, okay. So it was all over. Yeah. That's sad. Your friend has had a tough couple of years.
My God.
With shocking losses.
Because she actually dated Luke Perry for a long time. Yeah. That was really, oof. Yeah.
Or Matthew Perry, you mean. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now this is, I mean, you can answer this how you want, but on our podcast, there have been lots of female actresses that have come on the show and said that integrating with the other females isn't always the easiest thing. That perhaps maybe one of them was more difficult than the others. Do you have that experience?
Like I said, I went on and on about Tori being just so humble and nice and everything. And then, you know, years later, I worked with, what did I do with, became our SAG president. What's her name?
Gabrielle Carteris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She's
was really nice. And I actually had to go to her about something. And because we did the same show, I don't think we worked together, but because we did the same show, and I did see her at a charity event. She was so nice. Take my number, blah, blah, blah. It's just like really
sounds like her. Yeah.
Yeah, really nice. Then I actually had to reach out to her and say, please help me with this SAG problem. They're giving me a problem. Like, you know, and she's like, I know that producer. Yeah, let me help you with this. And she helped me with something I was not being treated well by SAG, to be honest, but she helped me with that. And that was really nice. So it's a problem that I hope they're going to fix one day. We don't need to get into that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be curious off camera to know what that is.
And I obviously support SAG because I went out and not that you watch my social media, but I was out there, you know, I was out there marching and trying to support totally. And we needed to okay the contract, even if it's not what people wanted.
Yeah.
No, not that we're going to get into that either, but we had to right now to have something.
Otherwise, have to work. Everybody has to work.
Have a contract protecting us at all. We were going to be using the old one,
right?
Which doesn't protect us. We had to have something that was up to date protecting us. Then we can go even further later. So it was that kind of thing.
Totally. I mean, the AI thing was really weird in that and all that. Not to
Horrible. Oh, yeah.
Lindsay Price.
Oh, I don't know. Did we work together? How did?
Well, she would definitely been there that season. I'm not sure if you had
Funny?
scenes together, but
No,
she's
it
also
was
someone that might have been at the soda parties.
Well, I don't know how I knew her. Did I know her? Oh my God. I know in some way I met her. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
She was really nice. I don't know.
And then there's Jenny.
Are you really going down like a whole list?
Well, I mean, this is the 90210 podcast.
Oh yeah, but I don't. Like I said, I told you who I remember. I don't remember anything other than that.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let you off with that. But you also got to experience live musical acts, right? Edwin McCain. Do you remember? Did you remember that song? I left that clip in there on purpose. I was like, that was a huge song in that time period. And he performed at the Peach Pit After Dark. Was that kind of cool to see that play out? Do you remember that?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Do you remember the artist Edwin McCain?
No.
That's funny.
No, and I'm all about my scenes. I was like, that was my focus.
You're doing the scenes, you're doing the work. The characters are developing really great together. And then you alluded to this earlier that at some point there's a conversation and the series is canceled. So
not canceled. They didn't want to keep going, is what I recall. Just like Charles in Charge, the same way. We didn't get canceled. We all just kind of said, "Hey, you guys, is this the end? Have we had enough?"
So it's interesting because everybody has a different version of the cancellation of 90210. I've talked to like multiple people.
I don't remember ever it being canceled. If it was canceled,
I mean, the Fox executive told me he's the one who canceled it, so it probably was they may have had.
Well, then he canceled it because everyone decided like this was.
It all might work together. It all might work.
Enough, like
yeah.
It was a long time, and you get like that every year. Like when the show's going on so long. Everyone comes together and says, "Is this it, or should we be done?"
They had lost cast members already. The show had shifted already. There was already sort of like Jason wasn't there anymore when you were there. So
Jason we worked together.
I think you worked with him the first time when you were Madeline. But
when we all were. Am I wrong?
I think who you're thinking of is there was another actor who was kind of in a Jasonist role.
No.
And his character's name was Matt. I think
Jason. Jason and I worked together when I was a lesbian character.
When you were a lesbian, that's really funny stuff. The four of you are they believe that they're there for a double date, and then but you're lesbians and you guys think that they're gay or whatever.
Oh, I don't even remember
Very Three's Company.
I remember that I was like really because I'm trained old school, I'm actor studio member. So I was trained by an old actor's studio member from the 50s with James Dean and, Marilyn Monroe back in the old days. So people call it method, whatever. So I kind of like to get as close to real life as possible. And I just wanted to be friendly with that actress and be like super like cutesy and like kind of touchy with her and friendly. And it was kind of like she was like not having it. And I thought, ew, don't make me like a lesbian if I'm not. Like, don't do that. Like, what are you doing? I was just trying to be like kind of
I'm being a lesbian.
We're on set. Let's be kind of, so it was a little bit weird because I felt like, oh, can I only touch her like during the scene? Oh, okay. I guess we're not doing that.
I mean, let me ask. Well, that's a great actor's question. There's been a lot of changes in the universe, right? The stuff that you and Brian did, there was no intimacy coordinator at that time, right? That's just you and Brian digging in and finding each other and getting into it. Now there's a lot of different things happening on set, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it like now compared to that when you were doing 90210?
I think I did have that. But you know what? I did a movie with James Franco called Sunny, and there was no intimacy coordinator there. And we were nude. I don't think there was. We were fully naked. James was wearing like a sock on his penis. I was wearing a pubic patch on my vaginal area. And then I just kind of stood there and like this and covered myself in between takes. But I don't
think they can do that like that ever again, like today.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
They were just so nice. I didn't give a rat's ass. They were just so nice, and everyone was respectful. It's fine, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't had that I can recall.
I think the actor that you're thinking of, by the way, is Daniel Cosgrove. Do you remember him at all?
I know the name.
Yeah.
Who's that? He was
He
on
was
90210?
He was on 90210 in that last year. And so
Huh.
it's over. Who tells you that it's done? And what is it like?
I have no idea. I don't even remember.
The thing for me is that your character is a pivotal character in the series. I know that this sounds maybe shocking to you, but the show has to end with Donna and David getting married. That's ultimately through the entire.
Vanessa, what's her name? Marcel was
Marcel.
there too. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was she?
We didn't work together.
Yeah, but she seems like she's really sweet. You
I don't
know?
know.
Yeah.
I think it was in passing, and they were dating, and something was happening.
Oh, Brian was with her.
They were dating at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. So what I was saying is the character is really important because your character has to be really strong enough that, in two ways, strong enough that David would be really into her, but also strong enough to let the character, like, let David go marry Donna, because that's where we need to get to for the end of the season. I don't know that you're thinking about this when you're doing this, you know, but it has to be the right actor and the right person to have that sort of like vulnerability and I don't know, passion, and then also the ability to let go. And that's not something that is easy to play, right? I mean, and you're also being just sort of thrown all that as, you know, you find out the show is getting canceled and whatnot.
I can't even remember what happened, except there was a scene that was outside the front of his house or something, and I remember it was an emotional scene, and I don't even remember. Maybe I think he broke up with me, right?
I think so. Yeah.
He had to. Of course he had to.
Yeah.
But I guess he broke up with me, and I was emotional. I just remember preparing for that scene and, you know, being really emotional. That's all I remember. I haven't seen it though. I would love a copy of all this stuff if you have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I probably have it somewhere, but I don't know.
No, I could send you episodes and whatever you're looking for, but I think
this clip. There's a couple clips.
A couple clips. Let's see about this clip.
So you had
this is what we're talking about.
Work, huh?
Yeah, online orders are off the charts.
Right.
Yeah. It's always weird the first time a couple sees different sides of each other.
Yeah.
I was gonna wait until month 6 before I let you see the infamous Camille Desmond temper. Are you all right?
No.
David, if I did anything to get you in this mood...
Really, you didn't do anything. I just wanted to pick a fight. And it wasn't very cool.
Okay, apology accepted. Let's go to dinner.
You deserve better than me.
David, we're solid. We'll work it out.
I don't think so.
You're not doing this. Why?
Camille, I'm so sorry. We just don't... We don't belong together. Camille.
If that was gonna be a letter, thanks for having the guts to do it in person.
Oh my God, Josie.
Oh, I just got teary-eyed because Brian was so good in that.
You were so good in that.
Thank
both
you.
of you. Both of you. There's something really special about that scene, right?
He was really good.
And but the two of you really had great chemistry and played off each other really well in that.
Okay. That was really well done by him. I have to tell you, I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, you as well. I mean, what I'm saying is, you know, that scene it can only, I mean, there's other actors for sure, but it can only be you. You got us invested in that in that arc
It's
of
so
these two
sweet.
should be
Oh,
together, and maybe this is this thing, but you played that in such a beautiful way that
oh,
it was
yeah, it's so cute.
well, I mean that though. I really mean that.
My voice was so high then. That's so weird,
Yeah. Why do you
right?
think that was? I don't know if that was just
Because
that clip.
I was so young. I was like a kid. I mean, your voice
Then that
changes.
was a wrap for you with 90210. What when you tell people about that, they ask you about you. I'm sure you still get recognized for being on
Yeah,
90210. I'm sure that do you get more recognition for 90210 now or Charles in Charge?
Charles in Charge. Well, that's always talked about. Like I have people like friends or what people that literally that's all they say. They're like, she's the girl from Charles in Charge. Like as if that's the only job I've ever done.
I would probably introduce you as my friend from 90210. I wouldn't even.
Sometimes people say, both, but their favorite thing is to say the other. I don't know why. I'm like, could you not mention my first job at 12 years old, please?
Right.
As if that's all I've never worked since I was 12.
Well, that's a good question though, and I've talked to Brian about this. The
When
show
did you talk
ended.
to him last?
It's yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah. The show is when you're on a show like that, right? On like a Charles in Charge or a 90210. 90210 is different for you because you weren't like say with the original cast, but when you're on a show that is so iconic like that, where it's your show, you become sort of an overnight. Charles in Charge, it was a huge show that we all watched as kids, right? What is that like to go from sort of wanting to be an actor and then being on the biggest show on television?
And that, keep in mind, it was syndicated. It was number one in syndication. It wasn't like it was on NBC or any of that stuff. So we didn't get paid what we should have, FYI.
Right. I would imagine. Yeah.
But it was weird. I mean, I remember taking my girlfriend my friend who was a girl.
To be clear, because you did play a lesbian character on the show.
Yeah. I was 12 and I literally was wearing the same suspenders and red pants that I wore in the episode that day. And I went to Universal Studios with her and I had tickets because I worked at Universal because that's where we shot Charles in Charge. And I'm in line and the show, I guess, had just debuted the night before. I'm like wearing the same pants.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know. No one prepared me for what could happen.
Yeah, but there is no preparation.
You would think your parents would say, oh, FYI, you might get recognized if this happens, blah, blah, blah. I got so recognized that when they said, oh my God, are you that girl from, Charles in Charge? I said no, because I didn't think about what to say. I never thought that would happen. So I just kept telling people no, because I didn't want.
So they were like, fans were coming up to you like, wait, are you on Charles in Charge?
Yeah.
And you were just like, no, it's not. It's not me.
I didn't know what to say. So the first time I was asked, I was in line and I just said no. And then I thought, oh my God, that's so weird.
I'm literally wearing the pants.
Yeah. And I think they may have said like, you're even wearing the same outfit or pants or something.
You really look like her. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was so weird. And then it was nuts. I mean, I could at one point I'm trying to think, after a bunch of different shows, I'm just trying to think, and then Young and the Restless, those people are crazy, those fans,
Yes.
I couldn't go anywhere, could not go anywhere. And this is with no social media. We didn't even have social media.
And you were a kid though. It's not like you can't go anywhere and you're
not just a kid. Like it was when I was I had a boyfriend that I was dating and we were in our 20s and like late 20s, even like 30, all around that age. Like, I'm trying to think. I mean, of course, it hasn't gone away. It's diminished as I look different than I did when I was 30 and the same haircut or whatever. But now it's more confusion. People are like right away go, oh, aren't you an actress? And then they think like there's just so many
trying to put the movie or show that they know.
There are like shows and sitcoms, and then there's like 2.5 Men. That's a big one I get, and then Young and the Restless for a while, and then a bunch of Lifetime movies. Literally, it's coming at them from every angle, like all these different places that I've worked, but then I've had short hair, long hair, black hair, brown hair, blonde, red. Like I'm changing it up all the time.
Which is great.
So my last 2 movies, I have platinum, short behind the ear hair, and now I'm going darker and I'm putting all this stuff in it, growing it out. And I do that. I grow it, I cut it.
I think that's great. I think that's
except that it confuses people, and casting doesn't know I'm the same person, that I did this job, and I'm nominated for some movie. Oh my God, wait till you see my other projects coming out.
I can't wait. What do you have coming out? Tell me what's coming out.
There's this one that just, I have this really cool, I have this thriller that came out last year, but I have a movie with James Remar. He's from Oppenheimer. I don't know if you know, and he's in 48 Hours or something. He's a bunch of movies. He and I are nominated for our performances in this movie called Glosies that went to this film festival in Spain called Sitges. And then we just got nominated for, because we do have a couple scenes together. I play an astrophysicist, but I wear a hat through the whole thing. So I don't know if people are going to recognize me quickly. Plus I'm acting different.
Right.
Differently. I play someone who works for the government. I'm evil, but I play the comedy. It's comedic.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't totally kind of written that way, but I really went that way with it. Anyway, so I'm nominated for that. And so is James for that movie. And then I have this really funny, and I've been posting it on my social media, which, by the way, on Instagram, everyone can go on there. And if anyone wants to text me and ask questions or whatever, you can subscribe to my Instagram. So
that's amazing. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to.
Josie Davis. I have fans that are on there, and we're texting like every day, but we all text with each other. They all know each other. It's so cute.
That's amazing.
It is. So I've been sending them pictures of behind the scenes and movie stuff that's like stuff maybe I don't want to announce, out loud.
I saw you in Miami. What were you doing in Miami?
I know. If you watch my podcast on YouTube, again, Imperfect Podcast, I have a Miami episode. So I did a whole travel to, on location in Miami, and I show all the restaurants that are really popular there. And I went out and I showed all the different foods. They're like the hottest tickets in Miami.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's really fun. I mean, I show, Pat Riley's condo. It's awesome. It was fun.
So everybody can find you at Josie Davis on Instagram, right?
On Instagram, and everything. I think I'm Josie R. Davis on TikTok. Someone has Josie Davis already.
How do you like the TikTok?
I don't like the China spying on us through it, so we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know if it's gonna last forever.
It's just like I feel like I learned Instagram and I'm down with that, but having to learn.
Know what? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was having to learn TikTok. I'm like, it's a whole other beast.
It's really creative, though. I like some of the stuff. Oh, my God. You guys, you should check out this one post I did. I'm at a bar. I'm at a celebrity's house, who I won't mention, by the way. And he's got like other celebrities there. And, of course, I don't know who's who. And I don't even care. And, they're all kind of looking at like who's who.
Right.
I'm over there like doing a video for TikTok by myself. I have my friend. And I'm like at the bar with my hand up, like I'm ordering a drink, and I turn around and it's slow-mo, and I'm like walking towards, and there's awesome music's playing and lanterns in the trees, but the way that TikTok made it look,
it's so cool. Yeah,
it looks like stars are falling, and I'm looking all sexy, and I thought, wow, that app's awesome. And then all of a sudden I'm laughing at the end, so the slow-mo ended and I'm laughing.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, they have a lot of
really good.
It's really good. No, it is. I found one of those the other day, and I was like, wow, I don't know how it happened.
And you need that kind of thing for my podcast. I'll do like a little transition where the TV turns off and then it's back on, and I'm like, watch my show.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're giving me ideas. Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So, but anyway, last question I want to ask you about.
Josie Davis is the answer for Instagram, and but Josie R. Davis for TikTok was go to my obviously YouTube channel. I don't even know how just Josie Davis Imperfect, I think, or Josie Davis. I don't know.
I mean, we want to watch this. This is going to be awesome to watch.
It's a fun podcast, really fun.
The show and 90210 ended. Was it a great? Do you mostly have good memories of it? Was it a good experience?
Oh, totally. And I really was so happy to work with Brian. It was so nice. I mean, how easy is that to work with someone you already know? And that was so great. Yeah.
You had your own show end, Charles in Charge
Uh-huh.
ended, and you were a part of that experience, right? And then you sort of watched the end of another iconic show, though you weren't on it 10 seasons, you were around it. Um, I guess my question is, what is that like to see? Because you experienced it firsthand. My show is over. Charles in Charge is going to be over.
Yeah.
And now you are like an outsider watching the other group of people saying goodbye, sets being struck, and things like that. What is it like being the outsider watching it happen?
I hate to say that I don't remember. I just remember, I think Tori had like a coffee cart, which I thought was pretty cool for everybody to have coffee
Oh, that's
one
cool.
day. I mean, it was a long time ago. It's so hard to remember all that stuff. So I don't remember, and it wasn't my experience because they all knew each other so long. So I wasn't a part of that, So
Yeah.
I don't think, because they weren't tearing anything down, right? Because that's I do remember thinking it was quite sudden, all of a sudden, because they're like, oh my God, the show's ending. We have to, like, your character can't come back. We've got to end it in like 2 episodes. It was crazy. I remember thinking, how do you do that? But I guess they did.
No, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I interview the writers from that season, and I give them a little like, how do you do that? Why didn't how did you do that? Why did you do that so quickly? Was there a plan for a season 11 when you initially signed on? That did you think that you would be there for a couple of years? Were there storylines that they talked to you about at all?
no, I just knew I was going to get more money.
Amazing.
I was excited.
Yeah.
I think the next year I was going to get more money. So I remember that. I was
Right.
like,
That's a good
and
thing to
I'm probably
remember
like,
about it.
shit, that would have been good. And then the more money later, Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And
So
maybe
that was kinda
season
cool.
12 and 13 and all that stuff.
But after Charles in Charge, there actually was the writer created I did a pilot for him. So a lot of people don't know, it was called the Oog Show. First it was called First Family, then they called it the Oog Show, and it didn't get picked up, but it was with a couple of stars, except that they were much older and I didn't know who they were, but I knew, you'd have to look it up. It's on IMDb, but who the people were. But yeah, that was interesting that followed Charles in Charge. So it wasn't like a total goodbye, because I love
Oh, I see
that.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Creator Michael Jacobs was so awesome to be able to do something with him. And then Al Burton actually had me do the executive producer had me do a presentation, which is like a pilot, but not full blown.
Mm-hmm.
But that was with the famous old creator who just passed away.
Oh, Norman Lear.
Norman Lear. It was called the Untitled Norman Lear Project. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of weird, but I just remembered, I'm like, I don't know who this Norman Lear is, but they all say he's a big deal. And I did a presentation with him, so I still was kind of with them for 2 more projects. And then,
Lastly, I always like for other actors to hear from an actor, this is not an easy business, right? Like the show ends. It is. Yeah. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with that?
It's not a really good feeling when you do get off a show, or that everyone thinks you're really good and you do a great job and you've got so many fans and they're like, what's the next thing? And you're like, well, I'm still auditioning, or I don't even get to audition for really good stuff, or, I'm only getting this or this. So it's kind of, I always feel like my career is like ending, and then it starts again, and then it like ends, and then it starts again, and then it ends. And it's like, so I'd love for that to not happen. I made I don't want to say mistake, but I left TV to go do films, and TV sort of took off. But I was told by casting, oh, she's a TV actress. Oh, she's a TV. Oh, she just does TV. She's a TV actress. And they weren't respecting me. So Victoria Principal told me not to do it, but I did anyway. She's very smart. She knows her stuff, but I didn't listen. And I did a bunch of independent films, and one of them was with Nick Cage's directorial debut, Sunny, with James Franco and stuff. And then I did one with Malcolm McDowell, which was cool because he's such an icon to people. And then a bunch of other things. But then after that, just going and trying to, and I wanted to get respect, so I became a member of the Actors Studio to get the respect. But no one really seemed to care. I'm glad I did it though. And then
TV and streaming and the way it is now, it's also different, and it's also blended. Movies and TV are all kind of the same now in a weird way.
but also they're all new casting people, I think.
Yes. Mhm.
And it really, honestly, your reps really matter. And I don't have like incredible.
I'll cut this out.
Yeah, but reps matter. I'll
Yeah.
just say that. And so I don't get to, honestly, if you've been around a really long time, it's really challenging because all casting directors are like, oh, we know who she is. Oh, no. And agents and managers, oh, we know her from Charles in Charge. I'm like, you know me from when I was 12, and
I've done some things since. Yeah,
they don't. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what your resume is, which is very long. They don't care. But I've done it. So I went and did a bunch of Lifetime movies, and
they're all great though.
I was offered those and had a great time, and I did a bunch of those, and then I just took 6 years off, and that kind of, I don't want to say that was a bad idea, but for the acting career, that was not a great move. But I don't want to say I regret it, because
sometimes a pause is okay though, Josie. Sometimes a pause is okay. You know?
Yeah, I didn't mean for it to be that long.
Right, a little bit shorter. Yeah.
I totally meant to pause and get into this other thing I was super interested in, just because all I've done is act. So I got into like this other thing. And then now I'm writing about it, which is awesome. So it's sort of birthed the project and my book. And I'm slow. I'm taking a long time to do it. But now I'm doing my podcast, so now it'll take longer. But I'm just doing a bunch of stuff, but this podcast has like opened up my world, which has been so fun, but I'm producing it also. So
yes, it's a lot of work. Yeah,
it is. And I'm having celebrities come on. So I'm really excited. Other actors. And I usually don't hang out with actors and stuff. So,
and the thing is too, like, people now can follow you on social media. You mentioned where, and support you and get excited
and they're so nice. The fans are so loyal.
Yes.
And really, I'm very lucky to have really nice people commenting. It's so rare that I get someone that's mean or rude or whatever. Very, and I've actually written back and said, that was really mean. You didn't read the whole thing.
Right.
How can you turn on me like that? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I didn't read the whole thing, or I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Have you done some of these 90s cons and the conventions where you get to meet some of the fans up close?
Oh, I did a little, not a lot, because if you're still working, it's not really, if you're still working, it's not really who they want to see really for that stuff. They want to see like the old people that they haven't seen since forever.
Sure.
I look different than I did.
Yes.
I don't know if this makes any sense what I'm saying, but
I know exactly what you're
working, saying. They don't care, I guess, as much, or you confuse them with
right.
They don't know which thing to go for, unless it's on a brand new series or something.
Yes, totally.
Which is my goal.
Well, that's going to happen for you. Absolutely. This is 24, and I feel like it's going to be your year, Josie. So I think this is
Thank you. A lot of
really good things.
That.
It's the start of good things. You've got a really good social media presence. Your energy is incredible there. I think you're ready for some awesome stuff. And thank you for doing this podcast. Thank you for doing 90210, by the way, because I feel like you gave the show a lot of life at a time when it really needed it.
Wow. Thanks for saying that. I haven't heard something like that I recall. That's so sweet. You're such a devoted fan to the show.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for having me on this.
Absolutely. Thank you. And stay in touch with me. If you need anything else, I'm always here.
Thank you. Well, check out my podcast. It's really fun. Really fun. And it's really positive because there's so much dark right now.
Yes.
I really wanted to help people with my advice column, which is now turned into this.
Yes.
And it's super positive and fun and funny and inspirational. So that's my goal, is to really help people.
Amazing. Well, I think you'll be great at that. And so check Josie out everywhere. We gave you all the handles and all the places and the websites and all that. And just Google her and you'll find out everything that she's doing. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Peace and love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.